Today is March 26, 2025. Okay. Today, some of Michelle for the Florida human traffickers was around me. Hang it up, people. Seriously? Shoo. Shoo. Seriously, who are you fooling at this point? You know, today, I went with my boyfriend, picked up our marriage certificate. We're going to be getting married. Okay. We went out to lunch, and sitting in there at lunch is some apostolic lady. Hair in a bun. Oh, hell no. So I start going on how the police and the FBI taped Melissa telling the kids to lie, the kids stating they made everything up, how John defended me, that no one could ever say anything bad about me. It'll just be made up because of the divorce. You're going to be moving out. She'll have her church people make up something too. But don't worry about it, Mom. No one could say anything bad about you. 2, Danny and Jen didn't know about the button cameras. They didn't know about somebody photoshopping me washing myself in the shower and putting that in the other room. They did know I had bruises all over me, throwing up and almost passing out in front of people, but they didn't know they were drugging me and telling me to say weirdo stuff and all kinds of crazy stuff and beating on me. They didn't know people were harming me. Like Jen said, I didn't think about it. I thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy. I didn't think about it. They weren't part of it. The kids didn't know. Nobody knew. Okay? Josh defended me. My other grandkids defended me. And Mel's kids got caught stating they made everything up. They were games of pretend. Okay? And I was like, you realize the godless people that would have this done? Oh, my boyfriend's like, oh, they are Satan possessed. Go to lead that apostolic lady stand there. She turns her back. She's on the phone. She said, you better be telling them not to say a word. Found out they taped Melissa telling the kids to lie. The kids saying that they made everything up. They even have John defending her and everyone else. And he even said no one could say anything bad about her. What? She doesn't know what's going on? Hang it up. Hang it up. Hang it up. Because what scam are they feeding you, ignorant bitch? There's like a hurricane of little scams. Huh? Which one? They've all been debunked. All been debunked. Okay? And then we go home, get some coffee, extra coffee. We have extra, it's a little bit of a hoarder. We had extra cans of coffee, took them over to his daughter's. On the way there, we stopped at Green Farm, and there's an African American guy. Recognize him. We go over to Myers. We go over to his daughter's. We stay and talk for a little bit, come back and get gas, and there's a guy with white hair and black glasses that was around me at 18 and 19. That's really not funny, and those stupid kids saying something when they got out of the car. Yeah, right, the police told the judges they were innocent. They're the ones having to watch it. No, you're not. The judges are not having you watch me. You fucking morons. It's a drug cartel. Fucking morons. (9/18/19), day of my divorce. The police that worked my case told the Ravenna courthouse judges that were there, for he had us look into it. You knew she couldn't handle it. You knew she appreciated us doing it, and you could find she did nothing wrong. They found it August 13th of 24 and marks. Well, that day I went to get my notary done here. I'm a year early. God of heaven, I was working 60 hours a week, not counting drive time, and I knew it was due but it's every 5 years, not 4. And I did through everything. I got my fingerprints done. I got ready to go for my renewal of my notary. My boyfriend wants to drive. He takes the back way, and their time slots. And it's like, I can't even be late. And then, you know, we're like and he's picking at me on the way there. And when we get there, I was like, look, I'll walk the last block. Oh, I'll drive. I was like, look, I need the fresh air. And he went to say something. I said, you know, I'm not Brenda, I'm Karen, and I like to walk. I go up to the bar association. There's a drug dealer with black hair and a beard. Said nobody thinks appreciates the way you talk to him. Oh, hell no. So pissed during that hour-long thing. I go to get back in the car and I can't even see straight. He's like, you must be tired. It's like, I'm fine. You must be tired. I'm fine. You must be really tired. I said, I'm fine. I finally get to the point he won't shut up. I blow up at him. I said, I don't tell you how to feel. If I say I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm not Brenda, I'm Karen. I don't know how you talk to your ex-wife, but I know how you will talk to me. You will not talk to me that way. I don't tell you you're too tired to go work at your farm and act like you're incompetent and that you can't do anything. He's like, no. I said, then I don't appreciate you talking to me that way. And I told him off. Well, I go he drops me by my car, and I go up to work. Pick up my client. We go to Myers, North Main. They try to sell me again that day. There's 3 men and they're walking around me. She's too uncontrollable for what we need. Some lady in there says probably what kept her alive with those people. Some lady investigator comes in cackling. Boy, did she tell that guy off for trying to tell her how she feels. No one will tell her how she feels. So the police that work her case are afraid to even say a word to her anymore after what she's lived through. She'll blow. And they all know that guy told on her for calling the FBI before he talked to her. And he didn't pay her. Oh, by the way, Agent John, they're looking at you for theft. Yeah, kind of so. Yeah. I go up front. Some lady's talking. Nobody thought it was funny today. She went for her notary. You can't even have an accusation. And they told people she had charges. We looked it up, and there's a tape of them telling the police that work her case, telling the judges in Ravenna that they had found her innocent of everything years ago. And we looked it up. It was documented that it was a medication error that made her sick before, and another woman was using her insurance. Someone would be stupid to say a word to her. I dare you. Okay? It's documented and verified. I was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in my home before. They have told these idiot people they had special permission to be in my home, to stalk me, and to drug, beat, and rape me, and sell kiddie porn of my grandkids going potty, and Photoshop a shower scene and drug me for fake confessions. The judges in Ravenna gave them permission. They didn't. They are so delusional. Ignore them. I'll tell you what, on August 13th, 24, when I got home, some of the neighbors were laughing. We heard she was too mean today for any of the human traffickers to buy her, and they were laughing. I have put up with her shit for 6 years. So, we're going to talk about what that fat apostolic woman said. So, what scam are we pulling today? The shower scene. Oh, somebody had mentioned that too. Some attorney's going to go after her. She's weird with herself. Lord of heaven. Hang it up. And it's no attorney. It's a drug dealer. Hang it up. And the police already told people they knew it was Photoshopped to washing yourself in the shower. May of 24, I'm in Myers, North Main. Some lady comes in. I talked to the police that actually work her case. They said it's ridiculous for anybody to ever insult her. She almost died to save children. And that weird with yourself, they knew it was Photoshopped to washing herself in the shower. And they Photoshopped that in another room. And they had drugged her up and told her to say it before. And it was a backup plan if she didn't die, trying to extort money or things from her. See, where you think the police and the FBI are stupid, they're not. Okay? That's where January 5th, 25, Walmart, 62. Some of the investigators. What is this? Another FBI agent lied to the U.S. Marshals? She was weird with herself? We always knew it was Photoshopped of washing herself in the shower. And they put that in the other room. And they had drugged her and told her to say it before. And we have the agent over her case taped that he let all this happen because he thought she threatened his daughter. And to find out, she didn't even know who she was. Does the FBI realize how not funny this is? What were they doing? Getting even with her, thinking she threatened one of their kids? To find out she didn't even know who she was? Do they realize how not funny this is? That goes back to December 18, 24. Two guys walk in. Actually, we'll do the first two set of guys. Walk in. They said she had charges. Somebody else said it was just the drug cartel. So we called the Ravenna courthouse. There's nothing against her. They said it's a drug cartel. Two other guys walk in over by the pies. Yell out. Karen didn't know who Michelle was till January or February of 19. No, I made sure of it. I thought I remember you. You walked by me when I went to walk out. I told those people she didn't know who she was, and I made sure of it right in front of the cops. I remember you. Okay? She told me she threatened her. And if she threatened her, I told people I didn't care what they did to her. And to find out she didn't even know who she was. No, I made sure of it. Until she announced herself, she didn't even know who she was. And I told people I didn't care what they did to her. And she didn't even know her. He said, I told the drug dealer that bet no one would want her, after everything he had done to her, to leave her alone. That Karen's getting remarried. I knew she had it in her. Okay? January, February 19, I'm in Faith Family Church. I'm sitting there, and before service, a bunch of teenagers come in. They're real loud. I look back. One yells out, I'm the one that dates Dave. And then she said, points at me, I'm the one that dates her husband. It's like, what? I thought it was Michelle Cowgill. Auntie Michelle would be Michelle Cowgill. And I look back, it's like, you don't look 18. You don't look 100 pounds. And then she had some other guy's clothes on. She said, something about sleeping with the cartel guys. Sleeping with the boys. And had one of the boys' clothes on. It's like you're sleeping with other men and you got some guy's clothes on. And you look like a teenage prostitute in it. You're supposed to be dating my husband too? I don't think so. You're another scam. Okay? Ignored her. Huh? Go to walk out. Cops around me. What are they doing? Setting her husband up to go out with a teenage prostitute? Thought that. What is she, 15, 16? Not that. One's like I picked her at 14, 16, 90 pounds. Some guy walks by right in front of the cops. I told those people she didn't know who she was, and I made sure of it. Okay? Well, December 9th, 18, I taped Dave, and so did the police and the FBI, that I never caught him with anyone. Ever. Ever. So if I never caught him with anyone, there's no one to be mean to. or to threaten, huh? It's a scam. Where she told everybody they should help steal my informant money for her. Because she threatened me and we're getting even, so we're going to steal all her money and give it to me because she threatened me. Everybody help. Oh, gave me with a spoon. I never even spoke to her yet. I let her run around pronouncing her crimes in front of people like she could have anybody drug, being raped. She just had to ask those guys. She admitted to watching me in the bathroom. Pervert. That they were the ones selling, her group was the one selling kitty porn. She was also with the Florida human traffickers that were impersonating the FBI at Fayetteville Church. That's where my neighbor seen them. Went to the U.S. Marshals, met one of the guys who saved off the case that Agent Open. 3,000 people seen them. The ones that raped and tortured me. The big truck guys from Florida. When they were away from church, they were drug traders and human traffickers from Florida. They worked for Judge Peter. They were relocating people down to Florida to a resort area. They were also with, that Indian family. Talked about the doctors. My God. I was out in the mall. Now, before that, I was down in Maslin and Wendy's, and they were real loud, the Florida group. And they were talking how they were relocating people down to Florida, and some doctor was running experiments on people and putting them in some kind of room and running experiments on them. I was out in the mall, and they said, the doctor would like to meet you. He's waiting outside the food court. Oh, hell no. Found someone to talk to and left through Macy's, run away. I'm not getting taken down in Florida, put in no room, run experiments on me. Hell no, run away. I was in Walmart. They're like, he's out by the hair salon. He's waiting for you. Hell no, find somebody, run the other way and go out the other door. I don't ever want to, yeah, that's where Melissa, my one house manager, they took her niece, the Florida human traffickers. The investigators said that they know he's a tall white guy with black hair, Latino descent, working with the other guy in the van with the big truck guys and the other people in stores to trick people to walk outside to grab them. Okay? Get it? Yeah. Then they ran a scam of, what was the other scams? Oh my God, they had so many scams. Some guy in 18 or 19 said he was going to run a contest who would have the best scam to steal my informant money. And that's where all this craziness. You can't get my informant money. He can't give it to you. Another one of the scams is they gave my money to Michelle so that her group wouldn't kill me. They wouldn't pay her not to kill me. They arrest them. Let's see. Another one of their scams were they paid off a dirty doctor before to write up she was insane. Oh, one lady investigators, like they'd all go to jail for that one. Insanity and mental illness is not curable. Okay? You actually have to stay in a state hospital. State hospital gets hold of the courts. They have a competency hearing, and you have a right to your own doctor, your attorney, to defend you, to dispute it. The judge explains to you that you still have rights, but then you're going to have a guardian, a social worker. You'll be placed on disability, and they'll have nice people like me, DSPs, come in and make sure you're okay. Okay? Now, I've never stayed in a state hospital. Never had a competency hearing. I don't have a guardian. I don't have a social worker. And I'm not on disability. Now, if you want to say Social Security disability owes me like 30 years back pay, I have no pride. I'm poor. I'll take it. That's like $500,000. Sweet. Oh, and for the drug cartel riffraff, before you make up a scam or you put a word on something, Google it. Google. Don't use big words if you don't understand them. Don't use them. Because you don't understand them. They don't make sense in a sentence. Don't. No. Just like those drug cartel guys outside my house before I called up back. What is Aesop? I thought, it's a child's book. It was in one of my notes where I was doing a crossword puzzle. I just threw the word Aesop in. You didn't know what Aesop was. It's a child's book, dumbass. Tortoise and the hare. Stuff like that. It's a child's book. So if you don't understand big words, Google them. Yesterday, I seen one of the guys from the case. Riffraff. He had a hat on, but you could still, I've seen him before. I told these people I got an embargo against her to get her money, and any money she's supposed to get, it's supposed to go to me. Do you know what an embargo is? It's sanctions between countries that they don't allow them to bring any kind of production of oil, rice, grain, cars. It's no trade between them. If you don't understand big words, don't use them. Google them first. Just like your fake sodium pentothal reports, telling people that where they drug me up and told me to say stuff. I wake up with bruises, look like injection marks, giant ones, severely infected, throwing up, migraine headache, take a drink out of a drink, the room would go dizzy and black and more. I'd have hand marks in my arms, my neck. My private area was so swollen it was pushed open and out. I had to go to Altman Family Physicians. I was treated for migraine headaches, throwing up, dizzy, almost passing out, giant bruises everywhere. Muscle pain, and they thought I was becoming anemic, gave me iron pills, muscle relaxers, stuff for headaches, throwing up, and pills and creams for a severe personal infection. I could hardly pee. Here I'm being drugged, being raped in my home and drugged for fake confessions. Okay. So, sodium pentothal was outlawed in the country years ago. And the last part it was used for was lethal injections. And it became too inhumane to use in lethal injections. It's an anesthetic that shuts down your airway. If you survive and you come out of it, you actually lie under it. You'll say yes to anything, so they call it true serum. It's spy flick movie stuff, but it's actually an anesthetic that shuts down your airway. The reason why they took it out of lethal injections, where they give you the drugs that kill you before the drugs get a chance to take effect, the sodium pentothal shuts off your airway and you choke to death. So you're trying to say you basically like anthrax me to make me lie. Research. And the paying off a dirty doctor, there is HIPAA violations. No doctor of yours can talk, or hospital, or doctor's office, or doctor, can even admit they seen you there without your consent. They cannot tell what you were treated there for, nothing. It's under the Act of Privacy. If they disclose anything, it's 1 to 5 years, $250,000 fine, and you can sue them for up to $1 million. Now, I had some other lady, like I said, I think my whole marriage was a scam because of, when I first got married, Barb said, I'm so glad he married you and settled down. He would have all kinds of women in my basement, parade them out, had sex with them. Well, when we got married, within 9 months, my dad gave him a big factory job, made a ton of money. And I think he married me for that job. And then some heavyset white brown woman showed up. And there was rumors of him cheating. He's denying it, of course. And then someone used my insurance for 15 years. Ran up about $50,000 to $100,000 worth of copays. I even argued with Altman Hospital. We want to talk about your stay here. I haven't stayed in your hospital in years. You see Dr. So-and-so. I've never even heard of him. Tell him about that lady using my insurance. Well, we sat and talked. Ma'am, I've never met you. You said you have 2 little girls. I have 3 boys. My brother knew of her, my mom, every union rep, and Kay threatened to put him in jail if he didn't pay those copays. And she ran up about $50,000 to $100,000 worth of copays. And it is even documented by the police that it was a medication error, medical malpractice that made me sick before, after I had a bunch of surgeries and my muscles locked up, and then a bunch of crackpots made me swell up and have heart attacks, seizures, and all kinds of stuff. They almost killed me, and all my family physicians told me how crooked they were, and then over 9 months I got well. When I got off the meds, they were inducing everything. And it's documented that it's a medication error, medical malpractice that almost killed me. But there's also documented by the police now. Officer Mark told the lady it's documented that another woman was even using my insurance, and that it was a medication error that made me sick before. And it's documented, verified, I was framed before by the drug cartel. It was a drug cartel in my home before. So where the drug cartel is telling people they had special permission from the courts to drug, beat, and rape people, you're not really that stupid. And that occult, like some lady investigator said, they need to stop saying they paid off some dirty doctor to write up fraud. Because insanity is not curable. You have to be in a state hospital. State hospital gets a hold of the courts, you have the competency hearing, and that's where you're found insane. And then you have your judge, the guardian, the social worker, and the disability set up. Until that, you're just saying that you pay somebody to write fraud off. And it's automatic fraud if the person's fine. It's not curable. It's right on Google. Mental illness and mental insanity is not curable. I don't care if one of Dave's girlfriends went in and acted like a June bug. I really don't. She still didn't stay in a state hospital. How do I know? Because I wasn't called to a competency hearing. There I'd have to show ID. You could, before you used to be able to go in Altman Hospital, just give them your name and address. They'd treat you. They never checked who you were. Ever. Found her using my prescription card. And I went to get pain medicine and found out somebody had already got my pain medicine a week before that. Had to explain to my doctor what's going on, call it in at a different dosage, and I had to pay out of pocket. That's how not funny she was. I even had to shut down my credit a couple times. Different things trying to be charged to me. This lady went Harry-Carry. It's really not funny when 2 girls in the case showed up and said they were that lady's daughters. That's how not funny this is. My mom knew of this lady. My brother, every union rep, and Kay McMillan, the secretary of Midwest Rubber, threatened to sue Dave and turn him over to the police if he didn't pay those co-pays. And he said, Karen, some crazy lady stole your identity, and she's running up all kinds of bills. I'd never cheat on you. Yeah, right. It's probably a scam between her and him defrauding me to marry me to get that job at my dad's factory, because he only made $80 a week. He went from making $80 a week to $1,000 a week. See what I mean? Big difference. Because my dad gave him a job. He would have never gave him a job otherwise. I think my whole marriage was a scam, and he was setting me up from the beginning. Like they said, some investigators said they already realized Dave and those churches were setting her up from the beginning, letting that girl use her insurance. I know that now. They're godless, evil people. I'm going to upload this.